Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the reflection. The reflection since the December breakup. We came back in the new year knowingly, well, I'm pretty sure I'm 100% knew there would be another lockdown. We all knew it. It wasn't hard to believe that we would end up having another lockdown, but I knew it was going to happen. Redoing virtual lessons to me is extraordinarily hard because you don't have that same connection with your friends, with your teacher. You don't have that same connection, and I think, to be honest with you, that was probably the hardest thing. One of the hardest thing about all this virtual learning is that I've been really struggling recently. I've had to get things like a counsellor for my mental health and stuff like that, and it's quite sad to say, it could have nearly went far. Well, I say nearly went far. Basically, it's just been quite hard to mentally process everything as well as trying to mentally get better at the same time. So that wasn't helpful as much. I wouldn't say that lockdown 100% caused my mental health issues because since a very young age I've always suffered with my mental health. But it certainly did not make it better. It did make it worse, but it wasn't nothing new to me. But it did get very highly worse. I feel like I could have got a lot better doing the ballet, doing the dancing, doing little things like singing, and also recently doing the readings of scripts. Now, Zoom for reading of scripts is actually probably the easiest thing about virtual learning, is that you kind of get sidetracked that you're not there until the delay occurs. With me, I think the best thing that's happened when it came to virtual learning was probably reading the scripts. Everything else has kind of sucked a lot. But yeah. Anyway, going from the beginning, I was really, really excited when I was given the news that I'll be playing the Trunchbull from Matilda the musical in one of the cabaret music numbers. I was so highly happy about getting that role, and I just couldn't wait to do it. And if anything, doing it at home has kind of brought me to take something else under the wing and learn. One thing about doing this at home is that I actually invested about £40 of furlough on makeup in order to do the Trunchbull look, and I was really quite wow. Like, I started to really makeup really grew on me, because before, when it came to shows, I always went up to the nearest person who I saw had a bit of foundation or something like that to, practically borrow to make myself look a bit more tanned. But now that I've actually got that stuff myself, it's something else, like I can do some makeup arts now, and I think that's kind of brought out a more even artistic side in me. Because even though it's performing arts, it's still part of art. And I think it kind of swells right around. So even though we haven't learned near enough as much as what we would do at college, I have learnt stuff at home. I have also learnt other things, such as, I've learnt how to do things such as green screen, which was highly amazing. Like, when it came to doing things like Matilda, I really wanted to have a schmexy background, such as a whiteboard or a chalkboard for Matilda, and I managed to do that, which was really, really awesome. So when it came to doing things like Matilda, I actually had a good few items of my own. I didn't actually have to buy anything but the makeup and hair dye to do the role of Trunch. Before, I had a grey wig and I was like, no, that's just not Trunch. Like, at first I was like, okay, I could probably make it like she was really stressed and her hair went grey, but I wanted to include more Trunch than, of course, myself, my own creation. A lot of characters I do I tend to like to add a bit of myself in, but sometimes I feel that does definitely not need to be needed. That's the whole point of being an actor, is to act, to put Lewis Hammond to bed or send him away to his happy place. And then the actor comes out, the character comes out, and you become that role. When it came to doing things like building the costume, I found it really, really fun. Like, I'd used my blazer, I'd used my black belt and turned it the other way around to create that big brown belt that she has that goes across her stomach. I had other things like a hairband. I then used my old school shirt and a small tie for Trunch. I'd also used a black jumper, just a casual smart jumper, or smart casual. And basically that was Trunch, near enough. Then I'd got another belt. I tied sellotape around it because she has that stick that she uses to threaten the children with. And I made that from a belt because one thing I realised, the Trunch always used to like twist the end of it, and it always made that sound of like leather being tightened. So then I thought I could do the same thing with the belt. So even though you couldn't really pick up everything on Zoom, I'd still had done the full expectancy of what it would have been like for a show, which really made me feel happy. Like, I still felt I was performing, whereas I felt like if I slacked a little bit, it would not have felt the same. Doing things like coursework has not been the easiest. I do feel like my coursework has definitely been slacking. I just haven't really felt motivated that much. And I think that's just the one thing we're all suffering with right now, is the motivation to do things and not being really able to perform properly. But thank Christ, due to the next 5 or 6 month plan, it looks like things will be going better from now on. So Sister Act will be absolutely brilliant to perform. We had our first read through since over a year ago, yesterday, and I found that it was very quick actually. I didn't realise how quick the play was, or the musical, so I didn't realise how quick it was. So it was quite funky to actually learn. So that went very well as the first lesson. But yes, such as things when it comes to coursework, though, it has nowhere near been the easiest. I've been kind of having a bit of writer's block recently, and even when it comes to filming, usually I'm always in front of the camera, but today I thought I'd just do a blackout shot and so you just hear my voice, because I feel like sometimes when I'm in front of the camera, I do tend to lose exactly what I'm speaking about. So I thought this would be an easier way to connect today. Wrapping up, I feel like communication has been very off. I feel like the group has kind of, where lockdown has hit them so much, we're all just feeling a bit like, we're all stressed out, we're not really as all our jolly normal selves. But I feel like when a bit of normality hits back again, when we go back into college, I feel like we'll just easily slide straight through and we'll all be good as tickety-boo. So far this term, I would say it's been very stressful, very, very stressful, especially trying to keep up with everything, like keeping up with the new dances, keeping up with the new singing and everything. And also when we was doing things like Bring It On, I actually sadly had to step out because I'd very badly injured my back, and I had to do some osteopathic treatment and stuff like that, and it was very, very bad. I was actually bed bound for 24 hours because I just literally was dying. So unfortunately I missed out on that, and I feel like I felt quite upset about it, but I had to do what was best. But I think the thing that brought me up the most was I was very happy that I had filmed, because Hayley asked if I could quickly refilm the Trunchbull scene because there was one that was slight issue, and I was very happy that I did that the night before this all kicked through. But anyway, that has been this term so far. This has been this half term so far. And I feel like it's going to get even better the next one. Even better. When we're all back to our normal ways, back to performing again, and we all feel we're back where we belong, we'll start to casually feel into each other's comforts. And as they say, the show will go on.